week, I end up with, in week number 2, a 28-0 victory, and then last week against out of the Titans, they had not really shown that kind of the game, but, by the time it was over, it's not like they were a field goal away. And so, they played against the Tigers from Lee Summit. The Tigers had just come off of a win against Staley, which is a team that we obviously had lost to. And at the same time, you end up with the Titans coming in. Our coach's conversation, that was one of the topics that we did cover on Titan football.
We go in and first quarter, second quarter, and put a complete game together, and that's what we did.
Well,
first quarter, second quarter, and put a complete game together, and that's what we did.
Well, you and I talked about that even preseason.
In that position, but we have prepared really well again this week and looking out to do the same this week.
So this is ironically Springs South High School. Joel Becker with you on Titan football. All by myself this week, by the way, in case you're wondering. Coach Royce Boehm is away on assignment. I won't tell you where he is because you just get jealous. And Mark Files, who was supposed to be sitting in with us today, instead is a little under the weather, so he is not going to be available for today. But in the meantime, Titans, Tavion Sims back, along with Jackson Torrey. And we are underway, and the kick's going to come down to Sims right at the goal line, and he will take it out. It's a 5 and 10 right up the middle with a big hole across the 20-25, trying to break a tackle, and he's taken down by the kicker, Brickhouse, at about the 22. So okay field position when all is said and done. Now, Jack Brickhouse is also one of their safeties or defensive backs, so the fact that he took him down and he's a kicker doesn't necessarily mean much of anything, but that's how we get things started. I do apologize that where we're sitting here, I'm not going to be able to see the clock that well, so I probably won't be able to tell you how much time there is as often as I would normally like to. We will see what kind of a Titan offense we have this week, if they can build on last week or not, as Wolverton comes out in the shotgun and gives it to Mayo, trying to come around the right side on that first play. So you heard Coach Horn during the coach's conversation talk about how important it is for the Titans to maintain a very potent offense as they come out in the pistol here in the second down. 45-yard line, Quincy Torrey. So 2 Torreys on 2 separate carries, and the Titans already in Blue Springs South territory. 1st and 10 for the Titans at the Jaguar 46-yard line. Just underway first quarter. We've played a little over a minute. And we've had a kickoff and 2 runs so far. But the Titans trying to pick up where they left off. 1st and 10. Mayo to the left of Wolverton this time. Torrey again in motion, Jackson, and they give it to Mayo looking for a hole. He is hit as he gets to the line. Falls forward to the 45. It'll be a pickup of 1 and set up a 2nd down and 9 from there. The Titans, as you can see, if you're watching with us on 810varsity.com, or I'll tell you if you're listening on lswradio.com, are in their road white jerseys with blue numbers. The Jaguars in the all blues, blue jerseys, blue pants, white numbers. 2nd down and 9. Shotgun again for Wolverton with 1 man and a man in motion. Toss to Jackson Torrey looking for a hole to come up, and again, not much there, barely able to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll set up a 3rd and long. So after the first 2 runs went well, the last 2 runs not so much, and we could see our first pass of the game perhaps from Wolverton. That's the thing, on 4th and 9, I think this Titan team is just really not set up to make that a high percentage situation. Riley Doler is back deep. Mayo standing back about his own 41 for the punt on 4th and 9. It's a good step. He steps into it high, a little short, and it will bounce, take a Jaguar bounce, and then bounce back near the 20, about the 21 is where it will come to a rest. And that is where we will see this Jaguar offense for the first time. If you were listening to the coaches' conversation earlier, you would have heard I mentioned that when I was doing up my depth chart for this week, whenever I do this, I almost always, if it's a team like the Jaguars that we play pretty much every week, I will usually try and look and see, who I can keep on the depth chart from last year to this year as they come out with trips on the left side. And it is a wide receive bubble screen and a nice open field tackle stepping up on the play as it was connected to Stevenson. And it'll be gain of maybe 3, but real good job penetration over there to blow that up and right after the catch. It'll set up 2nd down and 7. Parker back to throw again. He's looking, near side throw. It is caught up near the 40, up to about the 43-yard line. And that is Howard on the catch. Malachi Howard, one of the returning players, gets a first down. They go with pace here for the Jaguars. Back to throw once again, throwing underneath, and it is caught. And breaking a couple tackles right up the middle of the field is Stokes. And Stokes gets across into Titan territory. It'll be 1st and 10. Well, actually, they're going to call it 2nd and 1. About 9 yards on the carry, or on the gain. Parker has Reeves in the backfield. Man in motion, and he will toss it that direction again on a little wide receiver swing pass and breaks a tackle, gets inside the 40, almost near the 30-yard line. Stevenson, his 2nd catch of the day. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Blue Spring South. Moving down the field quickly here. 7:45 left to go in the first quarter of play. No score. Parker back to throw. He's got plenty of time. And he will step up, hit, and tackled as he gets across the 30 down to about the 27. Tackled by Kirkpatrick on the play, but a pretty good gain of, let's call it about 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Again, they go no huddle and quick moving. Do these Jaguars. Back to throw again. This time they push up the middle. He's going to run, and a good job catching up to him from behind. And so that will go down as really a no gain or a sack. And it will set up a 3rd down. Let's call it 3rd and about 7. So let's give that a loss of a couple. 3rd and 7. Parker now with Thomas in the backfield to his right. Twins on the right, 1 man on the left. On 3rd and 7, back to throw. He's getting a rush right up the middle. He'll step up, looking to run. He is hit and tackled well short of the first down, about the 25. Depending on their kicking situation, they're probably in 4-down territory. It'll be a 4th and 2. So they clearly need to have somebody spying on Parker, and they did on that play. And he did gain yardage, but only about 5. They needed 7. So it'll be 4th down. Nobody is covering Stevenson. Now somebody comes over, and we're going to get a timeout by the Titans. I think they saw what I saw, which is that you had Stevenson over on the slot left, and there was literally nobody around him. They only needed to get 2 yards. So you see something like that, you call timeout. It stops the clock with 6:11. We played about half of the first quarter. And after the Titans moved the football into Jaguar territory and punted it, the Jaguars are showing why Willie Horn was a little concerned about this Blue Spring South offense. They have been moving the ball pretty much at will. There is a 4th and 2 set up here, though, for Blue Spring South with the ball right on the 25-yard line. They need the 23. So it's very early on in this game. There's no score, but it could be a big play here, as we talked about or earlier on with the coach. Momentum is a huge thing, so whether you can get up, get behind, that sort of stuff makes a big difference. Parker, and it is a give. First run of the game, and tackled. I don't know if he got it. Thomas on the carry. He only needed to the 23, and I'm not so sure. The Titans want to bring their offense out, and it looks like they are. Yeah, the Titans were able to hold. He needed to. He got about 1.5 yards, and they put the ball just inside the 24 on their first run of the game. Well, that's not true. The quarterback scrambled several times, but the first designed run of the game, and it was unable to convert on 4th down. The Titans will take over on offense. So pretty much trading field position. This is pretty close to where the Titans had it the first time around when they started off the opening kickoff. Wilverton from the shotgun, man in motion, and it is a give Mayo. And this time he's got a hole just to the left of center, and he's able to get past the 25 up near the 28 or so. Should be good for about 4 yards, set up a 2nd and 6. David Mayo. Just enough between the guards to push things ahead and get some pretty good positive yardage on a 1st down play. Let's see what they do here on 2nd down with Twins on the right side and H-back that direction as well. One man on the left, Mayo to the left of Wolverton. Man in motion, and it's Quincy Torrey. He gets his 2nd carry, nowhere to go, and he'll get stopped for, I believe, a loss of about 1 yard. Maybe let's give him no gain. We'll set it 3rd and 6 as they gave him forward progress up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 6. Quincy had a good run his first time he touched the ball, but this last time just really had nowhere to go. We'll see if they want to put it to the air again. Wolverton 0 for 1 has only tried 1 pass and slightly overthrew Jackson Torrey. 3rd down and 6. Quincy Torrey in motion. They toss it to him, trying to get around the edge, but he was hit in the backfield and knocked back for a big loss. It was a good play by, I think, was that Osborne? Yeah, it was. Peyton Osborne that was able to get into the backfield. If he could have gotten around him, he might have had an opportunity to get some good positive yardage, but as it turns out, it'll go down as a loss. All the way back to the 23 or so, 22, so a loss of about 6. 4th and 12. Mayo is standing all the way back inside his 10 at about his own 7-yard line. See what kind of kick he gets off this time. Oh, he almost was blocked. It was a short kick, but it takes a good Titan bounce. And we'll go to about the 39-yard line of the Jaguars. That could have been a lot worse. But the Blue Springs South Jaguars will have pretty good field position. 3:56 left to go here in the first quarter of play. Still scoreless as the Titans end up going 3 and out on their 2nd possession. Blue Springs South had driven down the field but came up short on a 4th and 2 run. They worked with pace their first time around. Looks like they're going to again. Parker in a bit of a pistol formation and does give it. And up the middle, a big hole on the run up the middle for Reeves. He will gain about 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Bryce Reeves his first carry. And again, the Jaguars go with pace. Twins on either side. And they fake on a quarterback keeper and a good tackle well behind the line of scrimmage, as that was Putnam who eventually made the tackle, but he was helped out. That play was broken up by Nick Sullivan in the backfield. 3rd down and 5. It'll be a loss of 3. Trips on the left side this time. Parker, man on his left. He's looking that direction. Oh, he's hit as he throws it. Are they going to call it an incomplete pass? Yes. It was not a fumble, but rather an incomplete pass, and we'll set up a 4th and 5. It's too bad if it was a fumble, although Blue Springs South would have had it. They would have had it way back at their own 31. It does not look like the Jaguars want to chance it here, though, on their own 44. So they have the punting unit out, although they are in a position where you always have to be prepared for a possible fake. Huffman back deep. It looks like it is Osborne back to kick at the 34, and his kick is a pretty good one. And it's going to go out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Let's see where they mark it out at, I'd say about the 14 maybe. So terrific punt by Osborne. And the Titans will be backed up in their own end again to start things off. We're down to 2:49 left to go in the first quarter of play. Still scoreless. Both teams have looked like they could move the ball, but haven't actually done so that much. Titans rush out onto the field. The play clock's down at 14 right now as they move out there. But they'll go directly to the line of scrimmage. Down to 7. Looks like they're going Wildcat with Mayo in the backfield. He'll take the snap, but he's going to throw the ball and throws it near side. He was looking for Miller. It was incomplete. It's interesting with David Mayo trying to throw the ball with a gloved hand. He's got 2 gloves on. And I guess they thought they might be able to catch him by surprise on the Wildcat, but didn't execute. I don't know that it would have gone for too much anyway. And it'll be 2nd and 10. So Wolverton back out there from the shotgun twins on the left and right, and we get flags. It looks like we're going to have a false start or a offsides, but most likely, yeah, it's a false start on the Titans. So that will push them back to their own 10-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down and 15 from there. Stops the clock at least with 2:44 left to go. That was already stopped on the incomplete pass anyway. Jackson Torrey in motion. Now he goes back to the H-back position. Double wing set. Single outs on either side. Torrey again in motion. They'll hand off to him, trying to get around. Does. He cuts up the right side, breaks a couple of tackles, gets a first down and more up around the 40-yard line before he is dragged down toward the out-of-bounds marker there around the 42. Some good running from Jackson Torrey. And it looks like the Titans are going to take a page out of the Jaguars book and go with pace themselves. Quick snap. And it is a toss. Quincy Torrey, and he is thrown down for a loss, as that did not work well for the Titans. Once again, Osborne, who we've called out his name, Peyton Osborne, coming back for a loss and set up a 2nd down about 13. Really more than that, almost 16. Ball all the way back at the 44-yard line. Or excuse me, that's the 36-yard line. They need the Jaguars 48. Of course, they did okay on 2nd and 15 last time. We'll see what they do here. Jaguars show blitz. Wolverton on the long count. Man in motion. They snap the ball, and are we going to get flags? I think that was a missed snap by the center. Yeah, that actually hit. They're going to call a false start. That actually hit Wolverton in the foot before he even reacted. He didn't know it was coming. It just hit him. So I think they'll call that on the center. And the Titans moving backwards after a good run from Jackson Torrey. 2nd down and 21 now with the ball on the 31-yard line. Again, they got to get past midfield. Quincy Torrey in motion. They hand off to him. He is hit again. Osborne. That number 5 has been everywhere on the field so far on defense, and he was also the one that punted the ball out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So no real gain on the play. 3rd down and about 21 from there. See what the Titans want to do here. See if they can get what yards they can, presumably, and possibly kick it away. We're down to a minute left to go in the quarter. Play clock's at 10. Wolverton back to throw. He's looking right side. Swing pass. He's got a man, and it is Sims, and up the sideline. He was forced out of bounds. Tavion Sims. And he gets positive yardage, but it's still going to be a 4th down and about 11. It's a pickup of, let's say, 8 on the play, maybe 9 even. And Mayo will drop back to around his own 25 or so to punt this away. So Mayo at his own 27. Low snap, it rolls to him and just got it off. It'll go out of bounds, kind of shanked it, not much on it, but the fact that it wasn't blocked, and it may actually have been tipped some, I don't know. It looked like he was able to get the kick off, but it kind of came off the side of his foot. It was a low snap. He did a good job of even fielding it at all, but managed to make it work. Great field position, though, for the Jaguars. They will start in Titan territory at the 47-yard line of Lee Summit West. Still scoreless with less than a minute to go here in the first quarter of play. Parker from the pistol. And it is play action throw. Stevenson catch. And a quick tackle by Jackson Torrey on that play, but not before a gain of about 6 or so. 2nd down and 4. A swing pass out on the right side. It is caught. And breaking tackle, still moving down the near sideline, and finally forced out of bounds was Lapour. Well into the red zone. 1st and 10 for the Jaguars at about the Titan 15 or so. And again, they move quickly here, straight up to the line. Trips on the left. Parker in the shotgun. Back to throw. He's looking left side. He's getting a blitz. Fosnow couldn't get to him. They finally tackle him as he gets down to the 10. It will be a gain of 5. And that will do it for the first quarter of play. 12 minutes of football in the books. No score, but the Jaguars are really driving at this point. They'll have the ball 2nd and 5 from the 10-yard line when we come back here on Titan Football. A presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out here to Blue Springs South. This is called Larry Stewart Memorial Stadium or something like that. Joel Becker with you on Titan Football. Coach Royce Bame is away on assignment. I'd tell you where he is, but you'd get jealous and write letters or something. Mark Files under the weather, but we're doing the best we can. It's the Lee Summit West and Blue Springs South, and we are scoreless after 1 quarter of play. The Jaguars have been able to move the ball, but unable to get into the end zone so far. But they are threatening here with the ball on the 10-yard line, 2nd down and 5. Making a little presentation on the middle of the field right now, which is, if you're wondering why they haven't got back to playing yet, that's why. This is homecoming for Blue Springs South. So here we go for the 2nd quarter of play, 2nd down and 5. Ball on the right hash mark at the 10-yard line. And looks like Reeves will move over to the left side in the slight pistol, H-back on the right. And on play action, it'll be Parker keeping it, hit and tackled as he got just inside the 10 around the 9 or 8. Once again, Putman with the tackle. Did a pretty good job of following that, coming off his block and preventing him from getting more than a yard. 3rd down and 4. The Jaguars were already unsuccessful on an earlier 4th and 2, so they might, if they don't make it here, kick a field goal. We'll see. Trips on the left. And Parker will give it, and Reeves, and he's hitting the backfield and knocked back for a loss. Good penetration again. Fredrickson over there with a couple of others. Huffman for the Jaguars. And I believe we're going to see the field goal unit come in for the Jaguars here on 4th down and about 8 or so. With the ball on the 12, it would be a 29-yard attempt. Brickhouse to make the attempt from the right hash mark. The quarterback, Parker, is also the holder. Keep that in mind. On 4th down, snap back, ball down, kick up, high, long, and it is good. Just snuck it in on the right hash, or right upright, I should say. A minute 17 into this second quarter of play. The Jaguars strike first. They lead it 3-0. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com. Welcome back out here to Blue Springs, Missouri. Joel Becker on Lee Summit West Titans football. Titans trailing the Jaguars 3-0 early on in this second quarter of play. Brickhouse with the ball teed up at the 40. On the right hash mark, kicks it deep. It'll come down, and Sims at about the 3-yard line, trying to come up the middle, trying to get around. Does get around on the right side, and was forced out of bounds as he got across the 20 to the 22. And a pretty good defensive play that time for the Jaguars, and the kicker once again, Brickhouse, actually making the tackle. That's the second straight time on kickoffs that he has managed to make the tackle, but as I said before, he's also one of their defensive backs, so it's not like he's not used to tackling people. We are a minute and a half or so, 1:26 into this second quarter. Titans have been held off the scoreboard. I know that coaches don't like to, and even players don't especially like to hear the idea of, well, moral victory, but they have done a good job of at least holding the Jaguars to 3 points so far on offense. Now you need to get the Titans offense moving as Mayo goes up the middle, once again right over center, and is able to pick up about 4 yards. That's essentially what they did in the first down play the last time they had a drive. But, they've moved at times in little chunks, but they haven't been able to get too many sustained drives going on. The Jaguar defense has been relatively stout. Double H-back situation here. Man in motion, and they'll give it to Mayo left side. He'll go up the middle, and once again, cutting in between the guards, he'll pick up about maybe 2 and set up a 3rd down and 4. Well, ball's on the 28-yard line. They need a 32. Taylor Wood comes in. Quincy Torrey heads out. Wood will be on the H-back on the right side. Actually, he'll go down in a tight end position. Now he comes back to an H. Man in motion is Jackson Torrey. They will fake, throw over the middle. It is tipped and incomplete. He was looking for Wood on that seam route up the middle, but threw it into a lot of traffic, and somebody got a paw up. That was probably Hankey, but I don't know that for sure. And it'll be 4th and 4 and another punting situation for the Titans. They have not been able to move the ball with any regularity. They've had some positive yardage, but first possession was really their deepest penetration. It barely got in. Mayo standing back at his own 14. It's a bad snap the last time. This time it's a good one, and he steps into it as they came after him. High kick, and again shanked off to the right side, and it's going to be short. Mayo having a little trouble kicking. And to be honest, boy, they're still walking inside the 30. Inside the 40 down to about the 35. So they're going to be at the Titan 35, are the Jaguars, to start off this drive. Not exactly something that you wanted to do. I can't blame Mayo from being, nervous the last few times. He's had not so good snaps, and they were coming after him. So the blood was in the water. He knew he had to get the kickoff quickly. He did, but he didn't get a really good, solid kick. And so from the shotgun, Parker throws over the middle, caught, hit immediately, and tackled. Brickhouse makes the catch and picks up maybe 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 from the Titan 31. Jaguars. Brickhouse in motion left to right. Parker on the shotgun. He'll hand it up the middle. Big hole. And hit and tackled by Torrey. He gets a first down on the play. Thomas. And there was a big hole up the middle. 1st and 10. Once again, Jaguars moving quickly right up the line. They snap the ball. We get a flag. I think they're going to call them not being set. It is a false start, or at least the illegal procedure penalty. And what I think happened was that they went so quickly that not everybody had quite got set down when they snapped that ball. So that'll cost them 5 yards. 1st and 15 back to the Titan 28. The Jaguars, we see a lot of teams go no huddle, but a lot of times they'll go no huddle, step up to the line, look over at the sideline, get a play, which is what they're doing right now. But this Jaguar team plays with pace a lot, where they just go right up and snap the ball. 1st and 15 this time, though. Twins on either side. Parker, play action, throw in, seam, caught, and hit and tackled Torrey again with the tackle on Lepore, who makes his 2nd catch up to the 20-yard line. 2nd down and about 7. Back to throw, Parker. Low and left side, all alone in the end zone. Caught, touchdown. Brickhouse. Jack Brickhouse, seam route, just went right down the left hash and was all by himself. Parker hit him in stride. And Cash Parker, that was a really nice throw. And the Jaguars have struck again. They lead it 9-0 with the extra point to come. That's got to be tough. A wide receiver now has to kick the extra point. But he will do so out of the hold of Parker. And the kick is up, and it is good. 7:58 left to go here in the first half of play. The Jaguars are starting to get their offense untracked, it looks like, as they have scored in each of their last 2 possessions. 10-0 our score, with a kickoff coming up here on Titan Football, on a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, Top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro Team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
It occurs to me, I made that commercial, 10, 12 years ago or something like that, when 810 Varsity was first starting out. Maybe I should take the word new out. New home for high school football. 10-0 our score back here at Blue Springs South. Joel Becker here on Titan Football. Lee Summit West trailing 10-0 to the Blue Springs South Jaguars. Brickhouse with the ball. Teed up at the 40-yard line on the right hash mark. Jack is responsible for pretty much all of Blue Springs South scoring. He kicked the field goal to give them their 3-0 lead. He caught for the touchdown pass and kicked the extra point to give him their 10 points. So he's pretty well responsible for all 10 of them. It's an equipment issue with Quincy Torrey, so he had to come off. Somebody else came on. And here is the kickoff coming. And it is a deep kick toward Tavion Sims right at the goal line, trying to come up the right side. He'll step up the middle, gets near the 20, I think he's going to be just about a yard shy before they knock him back, maybe at the 19, 1st and 10 for the Titans. And as I've talked about before, offensively, the Titans have moved the ball at times in little chunks. It hasn't been, all 3 and outs, but they really haven't had any kind of sustained penetration, and they have never been in a position where you thought they might actually have had a chance to score some points yet in this game, which is amazing because, again, last week, 38-0. It was 28-0 in the first quarter last week. Quite a difference between the friendly confines of Titan Stadium and here at Blue Springs South, I would say. We'll see if they can't change things around. Twins on either side. And on the Wildcat, it's Mayo on the draw, and he breaks a tackle, gets up the middle. He's heading down the right side, caught from behind, tackled as he gets to the 40-yard line. Once again, it was Osborne on the tackle, but not before a 21, 23-yard gain for David Mayo coming out of the Wildcat. So it was a direct snap to Mayo. And it was one tackle he had to break, but he did, and gained some pretty good yardage on it. One of the longest plays from scrimmage for the Titans so far. They continue in the Wildcat. They will toss it to Sims, trying to get around the left side, and he's got nowhere to go. Dropped the football, but he fell on it. It'll be a loss of about 6. Back to the 36-yard line, and set up a 2nd and a ton. So Sims just didn't really have anywhere to go, didn't exactly make the best decision. At least he did end up maintaining possession. 2nd down, and let's see, the ball's on the 36. They've got to get to the 48. So that's about 17 or so. From the shotgun, Twins on either side. Wolverton back in. He takes a look, throw a near side. He was looking for Taylor Wood, but the pass was overthrown and incomplete. And Wolverton hit and a little slow in getting up. Or that's Mayo, excuse me. He's going to stay in the game, it looks like. 3rd down and let's call it 16. Team looks toward the sideline for the play. They go with trips on the right side. Wolverton in the shotgun, Mayo to his left. 3rd and long, and they will play action, roll to the right side. Wolverton throwing, and it is caught but hit immediately. Making a catch on the play is Quincy Torrey, but he was hit almost as soon as he got it by Jack Doler. And it was a gain, but not enough. Up to the 36-yard line, it'll be a punting situation again for Mayo, who has had a bit of an adventure the last couple of times he's kicked the ball. This time he's standing at his own 21, 22-yard line. See if they come after him again. And back off a little bit. And it is a low snap, but he fields it cleanly, and this time a much better punt. It was fielded, though, and a good open field tackle. I think that was, it was Dorian Randolph on the tackle, and I think it was Strickland who was on the return. Not much on it, and one of the better punts for David Mayo so far. Still not bad field position for the Jaguars. With a 10-0 lead in this one, halfway through the second quarter of play. We got 5:40 to go in the half. They have moved the ball well the last couple of times on offense. Parker from the shotgun looking to his left. He is being chased, hit, and sacked for a loss in the backfield. I believe that was Kirkpatrick who got a hand on him coming up from a linebacker position. And it will be a loss of a couple. Second down, and let's call it 13. 12. Twins on the left, one on the right. One man in the backfield, and it is a handoff, and stutter stepping, and Fosnow makes the tackle as Thomas tried to go off left tackle. He'll get up to the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him shy at about the 39 and set up a third down, third and about 5 from there. Again, Blue Springs South moving quickly, at least quickly up to the line. They take the snap. Parker rolls right side. He's looking, throwing. He's got a man. It is caught, and Stevenson will have a first down. Tackled immediately with Kirkpatrick on the coverage, but it was a good throw. This Cash Parker has been pretty accurate so far. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Blue Springs South, just shy of midfield. Parker swings it out. Once again, Stevenson on the right side and hit and tackled all the way across the 45 down to about the 41. Might have been a hold on that side, but there's no flag on the play. So 1st and 10, Jaguars in Titan territory. Quick snap, back to throw Parker with time. He will throw over the middle and incomplete as he was looking again for Lepore, and good coverage over there on the play to break it up. At really the last minute was Thomason. And he got a hand in there and broke that play up. 2nd down and 10. Stops the clock with 4:10 to go in the half. Ball on the Titan 41. Shotgun formation, Twins on the right. And on play action, Parker throws near side. It is caught and knocked out of bounds inside the 30. Good for a first down once again is Stokes. That'll move the chains inside the 30 at about the 27. And we get whistles. And the Titans called timeout before that play got started. I believe that's their second. So they've got one more, 3:28 left to go. Sorry, 3:58 left to go in the second quarter. I don't know what kind of halftime festivities they have planned here at Blue Springs South. It is homecoming, as we talked about. We assume there'll be maybe a band performance. I don't know if they introduce the homecoming court like they do at some schools. I don't remember seeing them do it before the game. I've seen the Titans do that where they'll do all that stuff before the game starts. I don't know. We'll see if we get some halftime numbers. Where, as we talked about before, shorthanded today. I've been told that I will have that information sent to me electronically. And if I do, I'll be happy to share it with you. And if I don't, I might just make up something. We'll see. Probably not. All right, 1st and 10 for the Jaguars after the timeout. Ball is on the Titan 27. Parker quickly throwing near side. Stevenson makes the catch. Hit pretty quickly. Jackson Torrey stepping up. Takes him down. Picks up about 2. 2nd down and 8. And again, Blue Springs South goes quickly. Thomas on the carry off a left tackle. He gets about 4 or 5 yards before he's pushed back as he got to the 19. But good positive yardage. He'll be about maybe a yard and a half shy of a first down. 3rd down and short. Again, quickly up to the line. Takes the snap, gives it. And boy, it's going to be close. Reeves on the carry, excuse me. And he hopped over a little bit of a hurdle, and they are going to give him a first down. I shouldn't act as if he didn't deserve one. It was close. I think it could have gone either way. 1st and 10, right at the 17. If you remember, they were at the 27 when that set of downs started. So he just got the 10 yards. Parker from the shotgun, trips on the right, and instead he'll give it to Reeves again. He was hitting the backfield. Kirkpatrick again wouldn't let him go. He pushed forward near the line of scrimmage. They'll probably get his first forward progress back to the 17. So actually the 18. So he did lose a yard. 2nd down and 11. Clock is running with under 3 minutes to go, about 2:35 or so. Reeves to the right of Parker, trips on the right side. On 2nd and 11. Play action, looking left side, throwing toward the end zone, incomplete. He overthrew his intended target on that play, and the intended target was Doler. But he kind of slowed down toward the goal line, and Parker threw it toward the back of the end zone, so that was just not going to happen. Charles on the coverage, it looked like. For the Titans, 3rd down and 10. Stops the clock with 2:24 left to go in the half. Don't know if they're in 4-down territory here or not. It'd be about a 35-yard field goal. Empty as Parker goes back, straight, throws over the middle, and incomplete. Jackson Torrey got a hand on it. He was looking for Howard, and the pass was just a bit overthrown. And Torrey was there anyway, and so it looks like they are going to test out the leg of Strickland here, or sorry, Brickhouse here, as it will be a 35-yard attempt from the left hash mark, assuming they kick it, 4th and 10. But as I mentioned before, the quarterback, Parker, is the holder. He's responsible for all the points today. Brickhouse's kick, it is up, it is long, and no good. He pushed it off wide to the right side. So it was close, but it was probably about a yard off to the right. And the score will remain 10-0, and the Titans will get the ball at the 20-yard line. If Royce Boehm were here, he would be shaking his head about the fact that they get it at the 20-yard line and not from back where he kicked the ball, like they do in the NFL. It is one of the differences between high school rules and NFL rules. And apparently they did not consult Royce when they were writing these rules, because he doesn't like that one. In the meantime, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. The Jaguars get the ball to start off the second half, so they've got one timeout, do the Titans, and 2:13 to go, but I would imagine they would love to be able to get some points here, trailing 10-0. Back to throws, trying to set up a screen, wide receiver screen, and it is caught by Miller over on the far side. He was able to pick up about 5 or so. And it'll set up a 2nd down and a short, really a 6. Let's call it 2nd and 4. Clock still running, though, as he stayed in bounds. Wolverton back to throw, throwing again on the far side. Again, it was same target, Miller, and he's about a yard or 2 shy of a 1st down. Didn't get a very generous spot. 3rd down and 2. Minute and a half left to go in the half. 3rd down and short. And they will give it up the middle. And it does look like they're giving a 1st down to, I believe that was Mayo. No, it was Jackson Torrey, excuse me. And he does move the chains. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll get the clock moving again as they set things up. Wolverton looking left side, throwing left side. He's got a man. It is caught. And again, staying in bounds was Weigel, I believe. They said it was Miller, but I'm pretty sure that was Weigel on the catch, and the Titans will burn their last timeout. Well, saving what time they can with 1:12 left to go. It'll be a 2nd and 3 coming out of this timeout with the ball about 3 yards shy of the 40-yard line. So they're nowhere near any kind of point scoring situation quite yet. They probably have another, 40 yards to go before they'd be anywhere near where they might be able to try something. And they would probably like to see what they could do about getting into the end zone. Trailing 10-0 here with 72 seconds left to go. 2nd down and 3. Trips on the right side for Wolverton with a man in the backfield. They blitz him. Throwing it is Tavion Sims, who makes the catch but has nowhere to go. Lost about a yard. It's 3rd down and 4. Titans get up to the line quick. I don't know if they don't make it here whether the Jaguars will call timeout. We'll have to wait and see. And Wolverton throwing down the seam. It is caught, Quincy Torrey. And he breaks one tackle, gets right up the middle down to about the 22-yard line. But the problem is there's 40 seconds left to go, 44. They stop the clock to move the chains. The Titans race up. Nice little seam pass, and Wolverton will spike it to stop the clock. So clock stopped with 40 seconds left to go. Quincy Torrey on that catch, headed up the middle of the field. And boy, if he could have gotten around the last man, which was Patrick, he might have gone to the house, but that didn't quite happen. They are now getting close to where they could conceivably be in field goal range, perhaps. Trips on the right. One man on the left. Wolverton looking toward the right side, throwing over the middle. It is caught. And right up the middle, down inside the 5. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. That time it was Randolph and Damian. They get up to the line and they'll spike it again. That will stop the clock with 30 seconds left to go. So the Titans finally moving the football here on this last drive of the first half, trailing 10-0. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5. And they should have at least 2 more shots to go to the end zone. They need to make sure that they protect Wolverton so he doesn't get sacked. No timeouts. Let's see what they do here. Man in motion. And it is rolling to the right. Wolverton throwing in the end zone. And it is caught. Touchdown. David Mayo on the near side in the corner just across the line. Caught it as he went down. And with 25 seconds left to go, the Titans get on the scoreboard just before the end of the half. 10-6. Extra point to come. Peacock out to try it, out of the hold of Arnold to make it 10-7. Snap back, ball down, kick, hop high, long, and it is good. 25 seconds to go, first half of play. Titans finally get on the board. A 5-yard or so pass, Wolverton to Mayo. And it is 10-7. Back with the kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out here to Blue Springs South High School in Blue Springs, Missouri. Joel Becker on Titan Football. Titans trailing the Jaguars from Blue Springs South 10-7. 25 seconds left to go in the half. Peacock with the ball teed up on the 40-yard line right in the middle of the field. We'll see if they squib it here or what. He kicks it deep, and it'll come down about the 2-yard line. Trying to take it up the middle of the field. Up across the 20-30, breaks the tackle. 35 coming down the near side and goes out of bounds around the 40. Burns about 10 seconds off the clock on a pretty good return that time. There is a penalty flag down, though. This is coming back. It's a hold way back at the 25-yard line, and Stokes' return is going to be nullified and probably send us to halftime, because with the ball going back to the 15-yard line or so after this penalty and the Jaguars getting the ball to start off the next, I mean, yeah, they could, I don't know, if it was the Chiefs, Mahomes and Bieniemy would be having an argument right now, but I'm guessing that they're going to take a knee and go to halftime. I mean, you could take one shot, kick a couple shots, but it's just not worth it. You've got the lead, and that is what looks like they're going to do here as Parker takes a knee. And And the clock running with 10 seconds left to go in the half. The players leaving the field. We will head to halftime. So it was looking all Jaguars for most of that first half of play, but in the last couple of minutes or so, a nice little 2-minute drill engineered by Wolverton, a big catch by Quincy Torrey to help set it up, and finished off Wolverton to David Mayo for the touchdown. And at least we are within striking distance, 10-7 our score as we go to halftime. We will take a break and come back with halftime festivities. As we talked about, this is a homecoming night here at Blue Springs South, so it's an extended halftime of 20 minutes. So get comfortable. We'll be back when we can here in just a couple of minutes on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
.810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
I got a message for you. Radio is the way to go if you want to advertise. Targeting your customers any shape or size. Radio is a perfect way to tell them who and where you are. They listen at work, they listen at home, and you got them in that car. You've got to go with radio when you want to advertise. Here we go. Watch me now. Hard rock and soft rock and easy listening too. Up and down the dialer formats just for you. Country, classic, talk, and gospel stations. Every market across the land has got a station for your situation. The cost is low, and radio is theater of the mind. You can present your information with imagination. If you want to get your message across the airways with radio. Call them. They will come right over. Remember, you got to go with radio when you want to advertise. There are lots of stations just your size.
Oh, shoot.
What's the matter, Pop?
Your mother's off at Taekwondo practice, and she says she wants me to find a hobby by this summer.
Well, why not play baseball, Dad?
Softball? I don't want to play softball.
Not softball, Dad. Baseball.
I don't even like softball,
Dad,
son, the way they
Dad,
just toss the
not
ball in
softball,
there.
Dad.
And I used to be a catcher.
Dad.
In softball, I just feel like a backstop.
Dad.
What?
I'm not talking about softball. I'm talking about baseball, Dad. You know, hardball.
Really? They have baseball for people my age?
Sure, Pop. The Kansas City Men's Senior Baseball League.
Well, now, I'm no spring chicken anymore, son. I don't want to play with all you young teenagers, you know.
I'm 35, Pop.
You are?
They have leagues for people both our ages. They have 18 and over, 28 and over, even 38 and over leagues.
Wonder if I still have my old mitt.
The Kansas City Men's Senior Baseball League, 913-649-2942.
I think your mother used it while training those tigers.
Call them. They'll get you all signed up. 913-649-2942.
649-2942. Good. As soon as your mother gets home from bungee jumping, I'll tell her.
Oh, great, Pop. She'll be so happy.
Oh.
What?
Well, when she gets happy, she might take it out on me.
Oh, Dad.
Are you looking for a heartwarming and unique gift? Consider master storyteller David Lewis's Memories CD collection. Warm memories of the cold. 9 of David's best memories of sleds, snow, Grandpa on ice, 34 degrees below, skates, and Christmas. Hooves, paws, wings, and claws. 13 recollections of cats, horses, dogs, birds, a misguided vet, and a bobcat that stuck to the wall. Just folks. 13 memories of the witch in the woods and other captivating people, gone but not forgotten. And you had to be there. 14 heartwarming tales like Fantasy on the Porch, An Ox Out of His Box, A Foot Fetish Catfish, and more. Recollecting times, places, people, and events in David's life you simply have to hear for yourself. David's CDs are available online at memoriescds.com. You can hear audio clips at the website. That's memoriescds.com. Why not buy the gift that can be enjoyed over and over? David Lewis's Memories CD CD collection, a touch of the heartland for your family. It started when a friend asked an ex-cop a simple question.
Got a gun?
Unfortunately, almost nothing is as simple as it may seem. Soon, David Allen Crockett found himself in a world he thought he'd left behind. A world of murder, deceit, treachery, and the possibility of the finest love he would ever know. All he had to do was survive. Don't miss Call Me Crockett, the new novel from David Lewis. Available from Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and select Borders bookstores.
Welcome back out to Blue Springs, Missouri. Joel Becker on Lee Summit West Titan football. Titans and the Blue Springs South Jaguars. 10-7 our halftime score. They are introducing the homecoming court as we speak here at the halftime festivities. I don't know, you can show the either the camera or you can show the slate saying what game it is. Either way, I don't know. Which you're the producer. I'll leave it up to you. You got a little glimpse of what it looks like here. If we were at Lee Summit West and it was the Titans, I don't know. It's 8-10 varsity. If you want to do I don't know. I'm sure if it was the band, you'd show it. I do have some halftime stats for you. 10-7 our score here at the half. It was all Blue Springs South. No scoring in the first quarter. Although, again, it was really more Jaguars offense than Titan offense, but they weren't able to get anything done. When all is said and done, though, when you look at the halftime numbers, they're actually relatively even, which is a bit surprising. Total offense for the two teams. The Jaguars at 175 yards while the Titans are at 167. So that's really not that far off between the two of them. The Jaguars have run 32 plays to the Titans 28. And so, not so bad. But a lot of that was in that last drive for Lee Summit West. So that's a little bit of a misleading stat. So obviously a lot more passing game out of Cash Parker and the Jaguars. He 14 of 18 in the first half for 139 yards and a touchdown. 14 rushes, 36 yards for the Jaguars, 2.6 yards a carry, and includes a big stop on the original first fourth down on their first drive of the game by the Titans defense. 2 penalties for 15 yards in the first half for the Jaguars. 1 punt, 41 yards. I mentioned that because punting is a bigger key on the Titan side. They had 9 first downs, 2 by rush, 7 by pass. 2 of 6 in third down conversions, 0 for 1 on the fourth down conversion. Their leading rusher is Theodis Thomas, who has 4 carries and 23 yards. Parker has actually been their most frequent rusher, 6 carries, 7 yards. And then Reeves, 4 carries and 6 yards. On the Titans side of things, like I said, their numbers are not that far off, but so much of it came on that last drive is the thing. Wolverton, who had hardly thrown a pass, technically was 9 for 12 because one of the passes was thrown by David Mayo. All right. Actually, I don't know, on the stat sheet I've got Mayo listed as 1 for 2 for 12 yards, but I don't think that's accurate. I can only remember David throwing the 1 pass. and it was incomplete. So I think Wolverton is 9 of 11 for 91 yards and a touchdown. Running-wise, Jackson Torrey leads the team 4 rushes for 36 yards, a 9-yard per carry average. David Mayo, 5 carries, 34 yards, 6.8 yards a carry. Quincy Torrey, that's got to be inaccurate because Quincy Torrey had a really long run in the first quarter. I wonder if he was not given credit for it. I don't know. And Tavion Sims, 1 carry, -6 yards. That's not so good. Receiving-wise, Quincy has 2 catches for 39 yards to lead the team. Damian Randolph, 1 catch for 20 yards. Sims, a couple catches, 11 yards. Miller, a couple catches for 9 yards. Weigel, 1 catch for 7, and Mayo 1 for 5, but that was the touchdown pass. And so there you go. Those are the numbers. Interestingly enough, Jack Brickhouse is responsible for all 10 of the points for Blue Springs South. He kicked a 29-yard field goal just into the second quarter, about a minute and 13 in, to give them the 3-0 lead. And then Parker, it was a 21-yard pass to Brickhouse for their only touchdown, which was about 4 minutes in to the quarter. And then with 25 seconds left to go, Wolverton, 5-yard pass to David Mayo to make it 10-7, and that's where we stand right now. So we are at halftime here at Blue Springs South. Like we said, it's an extended halftime because they are in the process of doing their homecoming festivities out here. I don't know if we're going to get a band performance or not. I'd say probably not, because there's, I don't know, 9:15 left to go on the clock, and I don't think they have time to set things up. I think that's why they had their performance before the game, was to give them a chance to perform, but they're going to do all sorts of homecoming stuff instead. I don't know, guys. Do you think that at least Summit West knows how to do it right, where they have all the homecoming court stuff before the game and then let the band be the stars at halftime? Yeah. Right. Oh, well. So anyway, we are at halftime here at Blue Springs South. 10-7 is our score. We'll take another break and come back with more coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
New from David Lewis and Leonard Press, Blood Trail. Tired of his life and weary of his sins, Joseph Casey places his fate in the hands of medical researchers. A Nosferatu in the power of mere humans, he asks for only one thing in return: help to find his 14-year-old daughter, a young woman he hasn't seen in over 150 years. Funny, tragic, and hopeful, Blood Trail moves the readers with compelling characters, viable science, and a marvelous plot. Blood Trail by David Lewis at Kansas City area Walden Books now.
All right, I got a message for you. Radio is the way to go if you want to advertise. Targeting your customers, any shape or size. Radio is a perfect way to tell them who and where you are. They listen at work, they listen at home, and you got them in that car. You got to go with radio when you want to advertise. Here we go, watch me now. Hard rock and soft rock and easy listening too. Up and down the dialer formats just for you. Country, classic, talk, and gospel stations. Every market across the land has got a station for your situation. The cost is low, and radio is theater of the mind. You can present your information with imagination. If you want to get your message across, get your message across the airways with radio. Call them. They will come right over. Remember, you got to go with radio when you want to advertise. There are lots of stations just your size.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Looking back out to Blue Springs, Missouri, Joel Becker on Lee Summit West Titan football. Titans trailing the Blue Springs South Jaguars 10-7, our score here at halftime. This is homecoming game as far as the Jaguars are concerned, so that's what the presentation you can see on the field is. Got some scores from around the city to keep you up to date. I haven't looked up a Boonville score yet, though. I should really get on that. Let's see what we got for you. Of interest to, I suppose, anybody from Blue Springs South who might be watching, Blue Springs is at Liberty North. They are at halftime there, 21-0. Liberty North, the Eagles over the Wildcats. Over on the Kansas side, boy, a couple of battles of Blue Valley Southwest and Blue Valley North. Southwest on top 14-3, Northwest and West 2014 for the Huskies at halftime. Tonganoxie 7-0 over Bonner Springs. Savannah 28, Cameron 0. Richmond 49, Carrollton 0. That's a halftime score. It is Center 20, Harrisonville 14. Chillicothe 18-7 over St. Joe Lafayette. That's with 5:20 left to go in the second quarter. They are at halftime, Shawnee Heights and DeSoto. Shawnee Heights is, of course, over in Topeka, if you're wondering. 7-0 over there. Boy, this is a good one. They're at halftime at Olathe North, where Gardner Edgerton is in town, with Gardner Edgerton up 2-0. I think that might be a baseball score. No, I'm just kidding. It is at halftime. They don't have halftime in baseball. But in Belton, Grain Valley, all over Belton, Pirates 41-0 the score there. Excelsior Springs trailing Grandview 19-12. They score at half. Let's see what else we got. Pembroke Hill, Hogan Prep Academy 7-0, just starting the second quarter there. Kearney destroying Ruskin 30-0. That's in the first quarter. Lawrence on top of Shawnee Mission North 10-7 in the second quarter. That's a lot closer than it probably ought to be, which is also our score here. Some people might be making that same assessment. Lee Summit North and Ray-Pec. Boy, the ailing Mark Files will be disappointed to hear that Ray-Pec is trailing 27-7 in his old stomping grounds. That's a home game for Ray-Pec, and they're still getting destroyed by the Broncos. That's with 6:05 to go second quarter. What else we got? Lewisburg and Eudora are knotted up at 14. 21-20 North Platte over Mid-Buchanan. Lee Summit score, they are tied up with Oak Park in the second quarter. 7-7 is the score there. Boy, Mill Valley and Olathe South 21-14. Mill Valley on top, which is not surprising, but it is a little surprising that it's that close. Park Hill South, the big battle of Park Hill today, 28-7 for Park Hill, and that's a second quarter score. Teams are just kind of making their way back onto the field right now, as we still have a good amount of time in our extended halftime here. Platte County and Raytown. Platte County on top 17-6. That's a halftime score there. Smithville, Ray South, 14-0 Smithville. Battle of Shawnee Mission, East and West. The Lancers from Shawnee Mission East are leading 21-7. Boy, Olathe West is destroying Shawnee Mission Northwest. That was a final 53-49. I guess it's not really destroying, but it's a high-scoring game. And how about this? Lawrence Free State 24-7 over Shawnee Mission South at halftime. So they got their act together this week at least. St. Joe Central and Fort Osage. Fort O on top 14-7. That's a second quarter score there. How about this? St. Thomas Aquinas and Rockhurst. How about this for a score? It's a halftime score. It is 11-8. Aquinas and Rockhurst, obviously, both teams scored a touchdown with a 2-point conversion, and then Aquinas added a field goal at some point. Liberty on top of Staley, 14-6, the score there just before the half. Summer on top of Schlegel, 18-10. North Kansas City, 30-0 over Truman. Warrensburg 26-26 with Odessa at halftime. East Buchanan over West Platte 42-0, and Winnetonka and William Chrisman 7-0 for William Chrisman. That is a first quarter score. Let's see if I can't track down some Boonville information. I don't know. You think that old Royce is possibly looking, watching this game from where he is. I haven't told you where he is, and I'm not gonna either, because it would just make you mad. Take my word for it. Let's see what we got here. Boonville playing the California Pintos from California, Missouri. 14-6 Pirates at the half. So there you go, just in case Royce may happen to be watching. All right, we are wrapping things up at halftime here. 10-7 our score. The Jaguars will get the ball when we come back for the second half of play. But the Titans managed to get a touchdown right before the end of the half. We'll see if they can't build on that momentum, make some adjustments, see what happens in the second half of play. This is Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
Are you looking for a heartwarming and unique gift? Consider master storyteller David Lewis's Memories CD collection. Warm memories of the cold. 9 of David's best memories of sleds, snow, grandpa on ice, 34 degrees below, skates, and Christmas. Hooves, paws, wings, and claws. 13 recollections of cats, horses, dogs, birds, a misguided vet, and a bobcat that stuck to the wall. Just folks. 13 memories of the Witch in the Woods and other captivating people, gone but not forgotten. And you had to be there. 14 heartwarming tales like Fantasy on the Porch, An Ox Out of His Box, A Foot Fetish Catfish, and more. Recollecting times, places, people, and events in David's life you simply have to hear for yourself. David's CDs are available online at memoriescds.com. You can hear audio clips at the website. That's memoriescds.com. Why not buy the gift that can be enjoyed over and over? David Lewis's Memories CD collection, a touch of the heartland for your family.
Welcome back out to Blue Springs, Missouri. Joel Becker on Lee Summit West Titan Football. Titans and Blue Springs South Jaguars. They lead at 10-7 over the Titans as they will receive the football from the kick of Will Peacock. And I do notice, by the way, if you look at your screen here, that you can see right on the 50-yard line, everybody's right up on the line. So they obviously have watched some game tape, and none of these onside kicks to get away with as a short kick and hit and well, now finally tackled just past the 20-yard line on the return was Stokes, who they apparently were trying to kick it away from. As we get things going here in the second half, 1st and 10 from the 23 for the Jaguars, and Cash Parker, who I thought had a pretty good first half overall. We'll see again what kind of adjustments either team has made as the Titans come out with 3 down linemen. Haven't really gotten a ton of pressure as they come with a blitz up the middle as he throws to Stevenson on the outside. Wide receiver screen, good for 10 plus yards. First down across the 35 near about the 37. As that was the same play they called to start off the game. It was just to a shorter side. And he picks up about 12 or 13 on the play. Stevenson in motion as they will give it, trying to go up the middle, Reeves. And he will gain 2 near the 40, maybe 41-yard line. They give him the 40. So it'll be a pickup of 3, 2nd down and 7. Just underway, second half of play. Jaguars on top of the Titans, 10-7 our score. Shotgun formation, Twins on the right for Parker. He'll go play action with time, throwing near side. Stevenson over the middle, made a catch. Took a nice lick from Jackson Torrey and hung on to the football. Good catch from Stevenson. It'll be 1st and 10 into Titan territory. 1st and 10 from the Titan 43. Working no huddle again. They throw it to Stevenson on the wide receiver screen. Fosnow did a good job coming off his block. Got a little help over there on the far side from Fredrickson. And no gain on the play, maybe a loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. So let's make it 2nd and 12 from the 45-yard line of the Titans. Opening drive here in the second half. Swing pass out on the near side. This time again, Stevenson trying that wide receiver screen. And he's able to get positive yardage before Torrey runs into him around the 41. But it's not much, maybe a couple 3 yards on the play. They knocked him down at the 42, so 3rd down and long. Parker from the shotgun has trips on the left this time. And he looks to the right. He'll throw right side. And incomplete. There was a little contact, but no flag on the play as it was intended for Howard. Refs hear it from the crowd. They thought there was possibly interference, or maybe they're upset that they've got the punting unit out. I don't know. I guess I could do a survey. 4th down and about 9. Good snap and the kick. And Huffman will let it bounce to the 20, goes inside the 10 and down to about the 6. Another really good punt. There have been 2 punts in the game for the Jaguars. The Titans not quite as nice, but Brickhouse has really put on a clinic today as far as kicking the football. So first time on offense here in the second half for the Titans, and they're starting from their own 6-yard line. They did move the ball in the last drive they had, but they got their work cut out for them as Drew Wolverton will be standing in the shotgun not too far from his own end zone. Man in motion, and it's a give. David Mayo trying to go up the middle. He'll move forward to near the 10. Let's give them 4 on the, well, let's give them 3 on it. 2nd down and 7. So the Titans defense holds to start off. We'll see if their offense can continue to move the ball. They only really did it once in that first half, but it turned into 7 points. Miller on the catch on the near side up to about the 15. It'll still be shy of a first down, but only by a couple. 3rd down and short. We have played 3 minutes and 3 seconds of the 3rd quarter. 10-7 our score. Jaguars on top of the Titans. 3rd and short. And looks like they're going to go Wildcat here. Mayo stays out to take the snap. Quincy Torrey is to his left. Now he moves over to the right. Jackson Torrey's the H-back on the left side. He goes in motion. And it's going to be Mayo trying to go up the middle. I'm not so sure he got it. In fact, I'm pretty sure he didn't. We'll see where they spot it. They spot it right at the 10. He needed the, the 15. He needed the 16. Boy, the Titans look like they're going to go for it here. That would be taking a huge chance. So here comes the punting unit. I mean, on their own 15-yard line. It is only a yard to go, but I don't think you want to give the Jaguars that much of a short field. If there is always the possibility of a block, or I'm sorry, a fake. Mayo is standing back near his goal line. Let's see if they snap it to him. They do. And he steps into it. Pretty good kick. And it's a fair catch called for and made at the 48 of the Jaguars. So at least so far, Blue Spring South winning the field position game. They'll get a new set of downs starting at their own 48. 8:04 left to go, 3rd quarter. Jaguars on top of the Titans 10-7. Cash, Parker, and company comes out. Reeves is the running back. And he has got Twins on the left. He will give it to Reeves. Good penetration tackle in the backfield. And a loss on the play. About 3 yards as once again Nick Sullivan comes into the backfield and blows that play up, and it was just great penetration. Knocked the offensive lineman back and made the tackle. 2nd down and 13. Twins on the left and Twins on the right. Parker on play action, back to throw. He'll step up. He is hit and sacked. Once again, Frederickson was there, but Putman was the one who got the sack. Loss again of about another 5 yards or so. Back to the 40-yard line. It'll set up a 3rd down and close to 20, about 3rd and 18 or so. From their own 40-yard line. Titans show they may be blitzing. And they rush 4. Parker throws one downfield, and it is incomplete. Underthrown. Looking for Howard again on that near side, and the Jaguars will have to punt. So the Titans defense holds. So far, Brickhouse has made it really difficult for Huffman or anybody on the Titans to do much of anything. They've had 2 really good punts. We'll see what happens on this one. So Huffman's standing back at about his own 24 or so. Brickhouse fields the snap. Boy, they came after him, but he got it away. And Huffman, he let it bounce over him, and is going to go out of bounds inside the 20 at about the 15. That was a mistake on Ethan Huffman's part, but luckily it only cost the Titans maybe about 5 yards. So they'll start from their own 15. That's not as bad as it was last time. Last time they started from their own 6. But it is, I believe, the 3rd straight time. 3 punts and 3 punts that have gone inside the 20 for Jack Brickhouse, who also has a field goal kick and a touchdown catch and an extra point. So he's responsible for all 10 points for the Jaguars. They lead it 10-7. 1st and 10 for the Titans. Sims on the end around, trying to get around the end, and he can barely do it. Got back to the line of scrimmage, but I don't think he got anything else. It'll be 2nd and 10 from there. Tavion still, I believe, in the negative yardage stat-wise throughout the game. So we'll call it 2nd and 10. Wolverton with trips on the left side this time. And he'll throw right side. It is caught and breaking a good tackle over on the far side and getting up near a first down is Randolph. And that is Damian's 2nd catch of the game. It'll move the chains. 1st and 10 Titans. That should have gone for maybe 3 yards, and he managed to get 11 out of it. So we might have seen more effective passing in this game for the Titans than we have in any game up until now. But some of it's because they've needed to. We've got 4 receivers on the left side to start things off, an empty backfield. They do not move anybody in motion. Instead, they snap it directly to Mayo, and he will go off right tackle and pick up about 4 yards. So they went Wildcat on that one. Mayo pushes it up across the 40, or excuse me, the 30, to about the 32. Let's call it 2nd and 5 from there. 5.5 minutes left to go, 3rd quarter. Titans trailing 10-7. Again, Mayo takes the direct snap, trying to follow his blockers up the middle. Gets across the 35 to maybe the 36 or 37. Should be shy of the first down by maybe a yard. It'll set up a 3rd down and 1. Ball's on the 36. They need the 37. Looks like they're going to bring in that jumbo package. They get up there quickly. Direct snap, and they, I believe, got the first down. Quincy Torrey on the carry, trying to follow the 3 big men. And that will move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Titans. Temperature cooling off as the sun has gone down. A pleasant night for football. Not a whole lot of wind, though, to get in the way. 1st and 10 from their own 38 for the Titans. Sims and Torrey switch places on the H-backs. And Torrey in motion will get the handoff, try to go up the middle. He's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, probably positive yardage, maybe a yard to the 39. It'll set up a 2nd and 9 from there. Clock running with under 4:10 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Titans trying to get that sustained drive going that they were looking for all first half. And so far so good, but they're still well on their own side of the 50-yard line. They need to move it a lot further along than that. Mayo moves to the left of Wolverton from the shotgun. Torrey in motion, Jackson, and they toss it in front. And that was Tavion Sims. That technically was a forward pass, but it's going to go down as a loss because he did toss it in front of him. And he gets to the 35. They need the 38. It'll be 3rd down. I'm sorry, they need the 48. So there's a loss of a few. 3rd down and 12. Probably 3, loss of 3. But it does go down as a completed forward pass, I guess. We'll see if they try another one here on 3rd down. Jackson Torrey in motion. Back to throw Wolverton, looking, throwing right side down the seam. It's incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Torrey. There was a little bit of contact as he kind of threw it over the middle, and Torrey was kind of going down the seam. And it looks like the Titans will have to punt again. 2:52, clock is stopped on the incomplete pass. And it'll be 4th down and 12 from their own 38 for Lee Summit West. Mayo standing back at about his own 22. It's a good snap. They come after him a bit. Line drive kick. Pushes back, and it's going to be returned this time from the 24. Boy, big hit on the far side. A good return coming down the far sideline and forced out of bounds all the way down into Titan territory. But there is a flag down way back at the 33-yard line. And I believe this one's coming back. I don't know if it was an illegal block or a personal foul. We'll wait and see from the white hat here as to what exactly the penalty is. But that really nullifies a huge return. Second time that's happened for the Jaguars in this game. Illegal block. So it was a block in the back. Oh, they actually declined that penalty. And instead they called I think that's a crackback block. I don't know. It's the 15-yard variety, so it's not really exactly a personal foul, but it's another form of an illegal block. And so, yeah, it's the blindside hit that was what was the second call. And so, 13-yard line for the Jaguars after the penalty, 1st and 10. Parker gives it, and Thomas trying the left side, and good contained by the Titans. And no gain on the play. Well, maybe they'll give them 2 up to the 15, so it'll be 2nd down and 8 from there. Clock is running with 2:20 left to go, 3rd quarter. No scoring in the second half so far. 3rd quarter is just like the 1st quarter so far. Both teams have moved the ball a little bit, but not really gotten that close to the end zone. 2nd down and 8. Parker, play action, throwing over the middle, slant pass caught. And I believe that was Stevenson on the catch. It takes him up to the 21 and set up a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. You know, interestingly, they've been trying to run it on these kinds of plays up until now and haven't had a whole lot of success. I wonder if they will do something different. They do swing it out to Stevenson on the near side. He'll get a 1st down and more. Makes a couple of side steps and is thrown down up near the 35-yard line. He's about a yard shy at the 34. Wilson on the tackle. Jaguars moving quickly with twins on either side. Play action back to throw Parker with plenty of time, throwing over the middle, and it is incomplete. Threw it into double coverage. He was looking for Lepore. And Torrey and Frederickson were both over there. Actually, it was out of the hand. It was a catchable ball, but actually once it got tipped, you never knew where it was going to go. 2nd down and 10, stops the clock with 1:16 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Ball on their own 34-yard line. They started this drive from the 13. 2nd down and 10. A little bit of a pistol. And they do give it to Reeves, trying the left side and stepping up and making another good tackle. Fosnow, who has had a pretty good game so far. And if he gained anything, it was like half a football, and so it'll be about 3rd down and 10 here. Third and 10 for the Jaguars. Trips on the right side. Parker, they come after him with a blitz. They pick it up, throwing right side, and incomplete, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. That was Howard. And, you know, they've tried Howard a number of times and having a hard time making a connection with him today for whatever reason. And so the Jaguars will have to punt as well. Brickhouse will be standing back at his own 23, 24. Huffman standing at his own 30. to await this punt. On 4th and 10, it's a good snap. We get whistles. Is it going to be offsides, or is it going to be a false start? Offsides on the Titans. So interestingly, that will make it a 4th and 5 from the 39-yard line. Doesn't look like the Jaguars are thinking about bringing their offense back out, though. It would still be taking an awful big chance, and you really don't want to give either team a short field in a game like this one. So Brickhouse, a low snap, and he gets the kick off. Huffman steps up, makes the catch from the 25-yard line. Broke one tackle, but was unable to get any positive yards, so the Titans will get going from their own 25 with half a minute left to go in the third quarter. And it's interesting, you go a whole 12 minutes, the first 12 minutes of the game in the first quarter, nobody scores. Then you put up 17 points in the second quarter, so you think everybody's got their offense going and whatnot. You come out for the second half and you've played 11 and a half minutes and nobody scored. Interesting the way that works sometimes. Wolverton out to start things off. Trips on the right. On 1st and 10, they give it Mayo on the left side. He's got a hole. Tried to hurdle a man. He was knocked out of bounds as he got across the 20. Looked like he got about 5-6 yards on the play. They'll give him 6, 2nd down and 4. Could be the last play of the quarter. I imagine it will be. 10 seconds left, and they're not really in any hurry to get up to the line. So that is going to do it for the third quarter of play. Nobody has scored, so we go to the fourth quarter as we went to halftime, 10-7 with the Jaguars on top. We'll take a break and come back with the fourth quarter right after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com. We are back live from Blue Springs, Missouri, Blue Springs South High School. Joel Becker on Titan Football, Lee Summit West trailing the Jaguars from Blue Springs South 10-7 as we start the fourth quarter of play. 12 minutes of football left. 2nd down, about 4, ball on the 31-yard line. For the Titans, quarterback, or I should say a Wildcat draw, quarterback draw for David Mayo. It was good for about a yard. It'll set up a 3rd down and 3. Ball's on the 32. So they went Wildcat for that first play, but Wolverton will come back in for the 3rd and 3. Just underway, fourth quarter. Be nice to be able to keep the drive going here. We'll see what they can on 3rd and 3. Low snap, Wolverton, bit of a broken play, throws it. He's got Sims, and Tavion gets a 1st down, and he's still in bounds. I wasn't sure if we were going to get a whistle or not. Out past the 40, around the 44, so I'm not so sure that wasn't a completely broken play and an improvised by Wolverton, because it seemed like for a second time in the game, the ball was snapped before he was expecting it. Because he got the ball, but it's not like everybody was sort of moving around. I get the impression that was just a miscommunication on the snap count or something. But he made it work on 3rd and 3. They get the 1st down, 1st and 10. Torrey in motion. He'll get the carry. Quincy Torrey off left tackle, and he's hit and tackled across the 45 near the 47. It'll be a pickup of 4, let's say, 2nd down and 6. Second and a short 6 for the Titans. Looking over at the sideline, trying to get the play. Drew Wolverton. He'll come out in the shotgun with Twins on the right, nobody on the left. Mayo is in the shotgun with him on the left side, and they'll give it to David, trying to go left tackle, pushes forward. Hard running David Mayo picks up about 5 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 1 as he gets up to the 48 of the Jaguars across midfield into Blue Springs South territory. 3rd and 1. Well, they converted last time on what was probably a bit of a broken play. Trips on the right. Springs is on the line. They give it to Mayo, and he jumps forward. And I thought he got enough for a first down, but we'll see where they spot it. I believe they'd be in 4-down territory here, but they may have to measure this. I think they're gonna. They stop the clock for a measurement. 9:12 left to go, regulation time. To be honest, like I said, I thought just eyeballing it to start out with that he had gotten it, but the spot wasn't as generous as maybe I was. Now let's see where they put it down. He's going to be about a chain link short. I mean, literally like maybe one link of a chain short of a first down. I imagine the Titans will go for it here with the ball in Jaguar territory, literally a chain link shy of the 47-yard line. So it is 4th down, 4th and an inch or two. And the Titans offense, they get the jumbo package out. Quincy Torrey to get the direct snap. There's the snap trying to go, and Torrey will get the first down and more. A good forward push by the Titans front line and the 3 men behind them. And he'll get all the way down inside the 45 to about the 44. 1st and 10 Titans. They go quickly out using the same jumbo formation. Quincy dropped the snap, or it actually popped up in the air. He caught it and was able to gain about 3 yards near the 40, about the 41-yard line. Boy, he just, that snap went off his hands and popped up in the air. Luckily, he was able to field it before anybody got penetration. A lot of times on plays like that, you know, because once he touches it, somebody could just, you know, slam into him, and he wouldn't be in a position to catch it. So clock is running, 8.5 minutes left to go, regulation time. Titans trailing by 3, 10-7. Wolverton back out for this 2nd down play, 2nd and 7 from the 41, and he'll give it to Mayo. He is met in the backfield, trying to push forward, can't. It'll be a loss of a yard. Back to the 42, 3rd down and 8. And I don't know, sometimes this offensive line has been able to open up some holes, and sometimes these running backs really have had nowhere to go. Tavion Sims has had that problem on a number of occasions, and he's still in the negatives as far as I know, as far as rushing. Titans may be in 2-down territory here, though. 3rd and 8. Twins on the right, 1 on the left. Back to throw Wolverton, getting a rush, throwing near side. He's got a man open, but overthrew him by just a half a step. Quincy Torrey. He was in double coverage, but he had a couple of steps, a good throw. Would have connected, and it's going to be 4th and 8. They're well too far away for a field goal, and there's not much point in punting when the ball, but looks like they may be sending their punting unit on there. They are. The ball is on the 42-yard line. So if you kick it in the end zone, you're giving them 22 yards. There is always the possibility of a fake, but with 8 yards, I don't know. So they don't have anybody back deep. And Mayo kicks it high, and it will bounce, and it is downed at about the 3-yard line. So the gamble pays off for the Titans. They're going to mark it down at the 4. And the Jaguars will be pushed back against their own end zone with 7:26 left to go regulation time. So they decide to play field position. Not a bad idea. I mean, again, you are not built as the Titans offense this season to be easily gaining 8 yards. If they could have gained half of it on, 3rd down, I think they would have gone for it on 4th. But on 4th and 8, they play the percentages, and good job for David Mayo to get a great punt off. Now they run it up the middle, and Thomas, and he's able to get some breathing room out across the 10 to about the 11-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 6, 2nd down and 4. Jaguars, as usual, going no huddle. They're not going quick, though. They did look over to the sideline to get the next play in. H-back moves from the left to the right. Parker, and he'll give it up the middle, big hole, and sidestepping one man, getting a first down. Thomas on the carry with some pretty good positive yards all the way out to the 25. Well, let's see where they marked it, 21-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. 1st and 10 Jaguars. They've got twins on the right, one man on the left. Thomas, and now I think that's Reeves who gets the carry on the right side. He'll get up to around the 25. No, that was Thomas, excuse me. And he picks up, let's call it 4, 2nd down and 6. That may be the first time in the game that the Jaguars have run the ball 3 times in a row, or at least designed runs. There were a few times that Parker had to scramble. Man in motion out to the right side, and again they give it. And this time the Titans pretty stout on the defensive front 3. No real gain on the play. And that was Reeves on the carry that time. 3rd down and 4. Jaguars try and go click here. They snap it. Parker looking right side, throwing right side. It is caught. 1st down. As a good route that time run by Howard as he pushed his defenders back by running down the field and then coming back on a little hitch. But he did it far enough downfield that he was going to get the 1st down out of it, which he did. 1st and 10 for Blue Springs South at their own 34. Eventually, the clock will start to be a factor with the Jaguars up by 3, 5:13 counting, 4th quarter. Jaguars, and the give to Reeves. Up the middle, he gets a hole. He is stopped as he gets to the 40-yard line. Wilson on the tackle with Fredrickson in the area as well. It'll be a pickup of 6, 2nd down and 4. So that's probably more than anything why we're seeing a lot of running plays here for the Jaguars. They're trying to kill clock and keep the Titans from being able to get this game tied or pull ahead. They're doing a good job of it so far. 2nd down and 4. Thomas is back in the game. He's to the left of Parker, gets the call, trying to get around left tackle. He eludes one hit from Jackson Torrey, and able to move the chains as he gets up near the 45. They'll mark him just shy of the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, we'll call it the 44. Still on their own side of the 50-yard line, but the clock is now down to 4:06 and counting in regulation time. Titans do have all 3 of their timeouts. You wouldn't have thought that you'd have to talk about that for this drive when they first got the ball. Their own 4-yard line. But they've gone 40 yards downfield. Thomas up the middle, big hole. And they've been opening up some holes in this Titan front 3. And he scoots all the way up to near a first down. I thought he might have gotten it, but they're saying 2nd and 1. Just shy of the 46 of the Titans. So into Titan territory. Obviously the Jaguars, they come up to the line quick, but at this point in the game, they're trying to kill clock, so they're not running as quick in terms of plays. Howard comes in near the line, man in motion to the left. Parker gives it Thomas. There was penetration, but he gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's about as far as he goes. Did get across the 45 to the 44, pickup of 2. Good enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Jaguars at the Titan 44. We're down under 3 minutes left to go. Titans are going to have to start thinking about burning some timeouts pretty soon here if they can't stop this Jaguar offensive team. And it's interesting because they've been throwing the ball all day, but they've been running it on this drive. We'll see what they do here. They give it to Reeves. He's hit in the backfield and knocked down. 44. And I think the Titans are going to call their first timeout. I was about to say that they should. Stops the clock with 2:24 left to go. It'll set up a 2nd down and 11. And this is the point where if you're the Titans, you got to hope for a stop here. Burn your timeouts out and get the ball back with a couple minutes left to go. Because again, I mean, they did come down and score a touchdown at the end of the first half. It's not something that they are, used to doing or designed to do perhaps, but they made it work at the end of the first half. If they could repeat that, they could sneak out of here potentially with a road victory, but we'll see. They're trailing 10-7. The Jaguars have eaten half of the quarter here, starting on their own 4-yard line, just methodically taking play after play, but moving the chains. That was the first negative play for a while there from scrimmage for the Jaguars. 2nd down and 12. Parker from the shotgun. It is a give. And up the middle, and I believe it's Reeves, and it was, and he gets positive yards, but not by much. Now the Titans say they got the football. The officials do not seem to agree. I guess they said his forward progress had stopped. They definitely did rip the football out because they ran down the field with it, but they didn't call timeout, so we're down under 2 minutes left to go. Play clock's at 15, so they'll have to snap it with about 1:40 left to go. 3rd down and 9. See if they take to the air here, if they try and run it again. I think the Jaguars are going to call timeout. They do. That's their first charged timeouts when they decide what they're going to do. 1:34 left to go. That may have been a mistake for the Titans to allow that much clock to burn off without burning their second timeout. I mean, because, you had that loss on the first play. They gained some of it back. But after that run, if they had called timeout, there would have been right around 2 minutes left to go. And instead they allowed a good 40 seconds to tick off the clock. Although, again, if you can, well, they saved the timeout, but that doesn't do them much good. If they run out of time, it's a lot easier to stop the clock on offense than it is when you're on defense. So 3rd down and 9. With the ball where it is now, if they get a good portion of this 9 yards, they could go for it on 4th down. We'll see. And a good question is whether they're going to try and run the ball or throw it here. Twins on the left side. Parker from the shotgun. And he is rolling out to the left, throwing, and what a catch by Stevenson. 1st down. It was a high throw, but he managed to come down with it inside the 30, down about the 28. And that just about will do it. The Titans will call timeout. That's their second. But that's the thing. With a new set of downs here, if they are, I mean, at this point, they almost have to have a turnover in order for them to win this game. Well, it's a gutsy call by the Jaguars there, because, you know, if you try and throw it and you throw an incomplete pass, then the other team's got 2 timeouts and you get the ball back. And they almost had that happen. Parker's been very accurate today, but that one was a little overthrown and required an acrobatic catch by Stevenson. But unfortunately for the Titans, Kason Stevenson managed to make it. And I think they're just going to kneel it out here. So Parker takes the knee, and the Titans do take their last time out. So here's the thing. So there's 1:26 left to go. They can't stop the clock here. So if they kneel, it's second down, second and technically 11. So they kneel it again. 40 seconds comes off the clock. That would take you down to, you know, roughly 46 seconds left to go. You kneel it again. Again, 40 seconds can come down off the clock, and that leaves 6 seconds left to go. And then you're on the 30-yard line. You know, what do you, punt it away? I mean, you could try and run the 6 seconds off the clock on 4th down. I've seen teams do that before, where they'll run around with the ball to try and, you know, they could actually run the football here a couple times. So the math here is, it's close. It'll also depend a lot on how the clock runs as well, if they get that 40-second clock going. So we do get the kneel, and they haven't started the 40-second clock. About 3 seconds ran off before they started it. And so that may be the difference. And of course, that's what you get oftentimes when you are at your home thing. So that was the thing, is that, you know, if the 40-second clock starts immediately after he kneels, then there would have been a little bit of time. Now, a lot of this is academic, because the chances of the Titans actually managing to score a touchdown in the last 6 seconds, even if they did have that much. But they're going to be able to snap the ball with like 41 seconds. Well, we get a little bit of the Titans went in after, you know, again, they were trying to milk that extra couple of seconds off the clock. 21-20. There is less time on the game clock than there is on the play clock, so this game is over. On that last play, the Titans tried to go into the backfield to make a tackle so that he couldn't just stand there before he took a knee. And, of course, the Jaguars took exception to that. And this game is over. 10-7 victory for the Jaguars. So it all came down to the 3rd and 9 play. Although, like I said before, when I said I thought that was probably a mistake for the Titans not to call that timeout before the 3rd and 9 play, that probably was. Now, of course, you know, that you never know what would have happened anyway. The key to it is you really needed to make the stop, and they didn't do it. But it is what it is. A close-fought game. Could have gone either direction. The Titans on the short end of a 10-7 loss here on the road at Blue Springs South. We'll take a break and wrap things up. Our post-game is next here on Titan Football, a presentation of Ackport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back to Blue Springs South High School here in Blue Springs, Missouri. Joel Becker on Lisa West Titan football. Titans drop the game this week to the Jaguars, 10-7 the final score. All the scoring in the first half of this game. In fact, all the scoring was actually in the second quarter. First quarter was scoreless. The Jaguars took a 10-0 lead on a 29-yard field goal by Jack Brickhouse, and then a 21-yard touchdown pass from Cash Parker to Jack Brickhouse, who also then kicked an extra point. So it was Jack Brickhouse 10, Titans 7. The Titans got their touchdown at the very end of the first half, second quarter, 25 seconds left to go. Drew Wolverton, a 5-yard touchdown pass to David Mayo. And that was the extent of the scoring. The Titans kicked the ball away when they could have conceivably gone for it on 4th and 9 from up near midfield, and did a good job. The David Mayo punt was down at the 4-yard line, and you thought that the Titans would have an opportunity to stop the Jaguars and get the ball back in good field position, maybe get a chance for a game-tying field goal or even a game-winning touchdown. But unfortunately, the Jaguars were never stopped. They were on that drive for the rest of the game. I don't remember exactly how much time there was when it happened, but it was about half a quarter. It was like 5 or 6 minutes, and they ran the whole thing off. But it all eventually came down to a 3rd down and 9 play. If they could have stopped him on 3rd and 9, they would have got the ball back with probably, especially since they threw a pass. So if it was an incomplete pass, they would have had a little less than 2 minutes left to go, and probably most of the field to go down, assuming that they would have kicked the ball away there on 4th down. But unfortunately, they converted, and that was the death knell, or the nail in the coffin, as it turned out. Pretty even game stat-wise. Blue Springs South ends up with 287 yards on offense to the Titans 230. 61 plays for the Jaguars to 49 for West. That 12 plays was the difference there on that last drive. Both teams getting 4.7 yards per play. Cash Parker, 21 for 30, 209 yards and a touchdown, no picks. There were no turnovers in this game, interestingly enough, for either team. So he had a pretty good game. Drew Overton, overall, at least numbers-wise, didn't do so bad as far as passing was concerned. 21 for 30, 209 and a touchdown for Cash Parker. Wolverton, 13 of 18 for 114 yards and a touchdown. So certainly not so bad as far as percentage is concerned, and maybe the yardage could have been a little better. David Mayo, 13 carries for 54 yards. Jackson Torrey, 4 carries, 36. We didn't see him carry the ball in the second half. Quincy Torrey, 11 carries, 32 yards. I think they would have loved to have gotten more out of him. And Tavion Sims also especially ended up in the negative, 2 carries, -6 yards when all was said and done. Torrey did contribute catching the ball, 3 catches, 49 yards. He set up the 1 touchdown we got, which, as I said before, was a 5-yard touchdown pass to David Mayo, his only catch of the game. So on the Blue Springs side, it was that Kaysen Stevenson who made the big catch on third down to ice the game. But that was just one of his 12 catches for 104 yards. Really was the difference in the game on the receiving end for the Jaguars. So a bit of a heartbreaker. The Titans coming off their 38-0 win over Lee Summit. Unfortunately unable to build on that, although again it was not a bad performance by any stretch of the imagination. They did well, but they came up on the short end of the stick as far as the final score was concerned. Next week, it's Ray-Pec. Homecoming for Lee Summit West. We're at Titan Stadium on Friday, October 7th, 7 o'clock. We'd love to see you out there at Titan Stadium and enjoy the festivities and see the homecoming court or whatever it is they do. Watch the band perform or whatever. But if you can't make it, then we'd love it if you joined us right here on 810varsity.com, lswradio.com. The game time, 7 o'clock, will be on the air sometime around 6:45, 6:50 or so. So hopefully Royce and Mark will both be back for next week. We'll see what they can do against Ray-Pec. I guess I could give you some real quick scores, see if we have a Ray-Pec score before we sign off for the day. Because they were losing pretty bad earlier to Lee Summit. Was it Liberty or those Lee Summit North? I think they were playing. Yep, 47-7. It was the fourth quarter score. At least the Broncos beating Ray-Pec in that game. So we'll probably have a pretty upset Ray-Pec team coming to town. But hopefully that means that they're a beatable team. We'll just kind of have to wait and see how that goes. Do I have a Lee Summit score? Well, they haven't updated it. It's just the second quarter, 14-7 Oak Park on top of Lee Summit, but that's got to be a dated score for you there as well. All right, the final here tonight, it was 10-7, Jaguars beating the Titans. Thanks for tuning in. Joel Becker here from Blue Springs, Missouri, saying good night on Titan football. A presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.